Hello, everyone. How's it going? And welcome back to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Dylan, and this is the Rideshare Hub. The Rideshare Hub is a place for Uber and Lyft drivers to come together and learn about how to be a better driver. And sometimes I like to bring on guests who, have experience in the gig economy and ask them questions. So today I am super excited to bring on a special guest. His name is Kevin, and he runs a YouTube channel called The Apptrepreneur, or you could also call him The Apptrepreneur. So before I introduce him, if you can do me one simple favor and give this video a thumbs up, that would help me so much. So yeah, now let's get into the video. Kevin, thank you so much for coming on today. Kevin? Kevin, are you there?
Oh, is that tonight? I'm sorry. Oh, shoot. Sorry, completely forgot about that. Thank goodness I always keep my video recording just in case a brilliant thought comes into my mind at a random. So anyway, you look like Dylan from the Rideshare Hub.
I'm actually Dylan. I'm that guy. That's so random that we just got connected. That was weird.
Yeah, it's funny how that was just so random.
Yeah, I was actually FaceTiming my ex-girlfriend, and then all of a sudden your face popped up. So, but I guess now we're doing a live stream.
You talk to your ex-girlfriend still?
No, I don't. No comment. All right,
You don't make for a very good liar, I take it.
Cool. So why don't you just introduce yourself to all the people watching?
Well, I'm Kevin, the Apptrepreneur, and I run a technology and app commentary channel. And Uber and Lyft is a huge focus, but we talk about other things, PostMates, sometimes Grubhub, sometimes DoorDash, sometimes Amazon, sometimes Barnes & Noble does their little Nook thing. So yeah, I kind of talk a little bit about everything.
Yeah, and for the sake of this channel, since this is Rideshare Hub, I would like to talk about everything, but I think we're gonna keep it pretty specific to rideshare and gig economy. And because I do know that you have quite a bit of knowledge about that, I've seen quite a few of your videos on that. I know you tend to go to the strikes in Los Angeles, I believe. I've seen you on the Rideshare Guy's YouTube channel interviewing people, so I want to dive into that. But if you can I want to keep this pretty short for people watching. If you guys are watching this again, leave a thumbs up and let us know any questions you guys have for Kevin or for myself, and we will answer them for you. But first of all, can you just tell me about how you started driving for Uber and Lyft?
Well, I started the way a lot of people probably did. I was out of work for a while, and I was making money on like eBay and Amazon, but could always use a little bit more. And then I found out about this thing called Uber, and it kind of was like an odd idea. You could drive people around with your own car, you could make money. So I decided to give it a try, and that kind of started my love affair with the gig economy, as I found it to be actually much better money at the time than what I was making on eBay, and I thought it was fun. So I did it for a good 2 to 3 years, I would say.
Yeah. And so you're doing that like for your full-time income then, right? Or
For a while, I was doing it for my full-time income, yes.
Yeah. Sweet. And I guess what was like your favorite part about driving, and then maybe like your least favorite part?
Well, the least favorite part is violent passengers, of course. But my favorite part was talking to the good
Did you have a violent passenger?
Oh yeah, I've made a couple videos about getting attacked in the Uber. I mean, if you do this long enough, you're gonna get attacked, unfortunately.
All right.
So yeah.
Tell me the story if you don't mind.
Oh, the story kind of goes to highlight just how people really don't think when they're drunk. I picked up a guy and I put in the address, and he asked how long to get to his destination. That the app said 18 minutes. I said 20, and he started shouting at me because his app, which I think was Google Maps. I was using Waze. Said 15 minutes. So he got livid with me, demanded to be pulled over, because I was trying to screw him apparently.
Okay.
Was gonna let him out the car, then he like demands my phone, which I said I wasn't gonna let him have it. And at that point he shoves me against the door, grabs the phone, gets out of the car, starts taking pictures, and well, sensing that it could get really violent, he's so unpredictable, I just end up driving off and leaving him behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the funny thing about how that all wrapped up though was that I of course went to a Arco. Well, first I went to an Arco and they wouldn't let me use the phone to call the police, so I had to go to another convenience store. The police came and I took him to the spot where
Why couldn't you use your own phone?
because he took the phone.
Oh, he took your phone. Okay.
Yeah, because he took the phone. That's why. So
Dang.
we went back to the spot, and I was telling him what happened, and the amazing thing was this guy apparently walked back to the bar, because we only went like a block before this all happened. He went back to the bar, called another Uber. I guess was giving that Uber driver the same problem. So since there were cops there, the driver pulled over, said there was this guy who was causing a fuss. He didn't know what he wanted. And I recognized him like, officer, that's the guy who took my phone.
Yeah.
And sure enough, there was my phone all cracked and broken in his pocket. And by the way, Uber did not give me any money to replace that phone.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the guy should have paid for a new phone for you.
Well, he should have, but here was like the kicker to the story. I exchanged information with the police and everything, and I was gonna press charges. Apparently, he was here from South Korea on a business visa. While they were booking him, he took a swing at the cops and punched them, and they deported him like a couple days later.
Oh my gosh.
So there wasn't really anything to be done at that point, but now that enough time has gone by, I kind of laugh at that story, but it was genuinely terrifying at the time.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. And then when that was, I guess that was probably your worst. I mean, that was probably your worst ride.
No, actually, it wasn't.
No. Now I know why you don't really drive anymore.
No, the worst ride, which I'm saving for like the 15,000 subscribers, something like that.
Oh,
that was such a terrifying night.
You're waiting to tell the story, so you haven't told it yet?
I don't believe I have.
All right. Well, are we debuting that on this channel, or are we waiting for your 15,000 on your channel?
No, we're gonna wait for an anniversary. I'm sorry, I kind of want to save that.
No worries. No worries. Well, yeah, I'll you guys can head over to his channel and subscribe so you don't miss that video. All right. So, and then what was your favorite part?
Well, the favorite parts was talking to the customers who were nice, because it helps with my social skills. I got to talk to people. It got me out of the house, and I also liked listening to music. I kind of considered it like getting paid to listen to music all day.
Yeah, yeah, music, podcasts, whatever. I mean, do you listen to podcasts or no?
I do not when I'm doing Uber and Lyft, because with Uber and Lyft, you have to really be careful with what you're listening on when you drive. So I tended to pick good but mostly acceptable music.
I've tried doing podcasts in between rides, but I'll only get through like 1 or 2 minutes, and then it's just like, so stop it. I'm like, yeah, I get over with that.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Do you listen to podcasts in general or no?
I do. In general, I do listen to certain podcasts. Yes.
Have you ever listened to Harry Campbell's Rideshare Guy?
I've actually I first heard Harry Campbell's podcast when I was doing DoorDash, which listening to podcasts is a lot easier when you do food. So that was when I was listening to his podcast. The first episode he did, I remember he was talking to a taxi driver who had just discovered about Uber and kind of sharing his thoughts on it. So that was a very interesting episode.
Yeah, I haven't listened to his podcast yet, but maybe I'll get into that. So a couple quick shout outs to people in the chat. Leary, Papi Chulo, what's up? He calls you Mr. App.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, and he called the guy who broke your phone a punk. So yeah, that's probably quite about right. Kenneth Morrison, what's up? Leary, I just want to say I'm pretty grateful, Dylan, because I've learned a lot from your videos. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the compliment, I guess. Dustin is driving. What's up, man? Traveling troubadour.
Dustin, he's in everyone's live streams.
Dustin's like, what is this sorcery? Yeah, I know. I told Kevin, like, no one expected us to go to do a live stream together, but here we are.
I think it's because because there's this perception that I'm a unlikable person, so I won't go on other people's channels, although that's not true.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like giving people, like, talking to meeting new people, like you were saying. I mean, this is the Rideshare Hub, so I feel like I should probably have like everyone on in this space.
Yeah, well, funny thing is I used to do a podcast called The Underground Rideshare where I talked to underground, like, Uber tubers who had less than 1,000 subscribers, but I saw great potential in them. And I sent a lot of people invites, including you, by the way, and very rarely got a response. So the show kind of just died.
Wait, you sent me
About 7 months ago, yes.
Oh, I think I had barely started my channel at that point.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, anyways. Larry Robinson, Ilanka, Garcia, Traveling Troubadour, what's up? I'd like to answer the video questions for $500, Bob. What is Kevin? What is Dustin talking about? Dustin is such a character. All right. I guess, and then also if you could maybe talk about how did you get started with your YouTube channel, Kevin?
Well, the Apptrepreneur channel, that's kind of a funny story because I actually had like another channel I've been doing for several years and had a couple thousand subscribers. It was just under my name, Kevin T. Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And there was a situation with DoorDash, and I ended up making like 2 videos on it. And they did really well, but the comments were fairly similar. Like, well, that's interesting. Doesn't have a lot to do with movies or comics, does it? And I was like, no, it doesn't. So I created another channel specifically because I decided I want to talk more about DoorDash and even give some tips on Uber and Lyft driving because I was coming up with strategies I figured would be helpful that I didn't see people talking about at the time. So I was going to make another channel. I was trying to think what a good name would be, and I kind of decided on the Apptrepreneur because it's like, well, I'm an entrepreneur and I mainly make my money through apps.
Yeah.
So I called it the Apptrepreneur. And by the way, it saved me years later when Uber started going after all these channels with Uber and Lyft in the title.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that helped a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I uploaded my first video, why you should not deliver for Uber Eats, because at the time, the issue was that they didn't allow tipping, and the whole thesis of the video was like, you have 4 delivery services that we can deliver food and they all offer tips. This is the only one that doesn't, so don't do it.
Yeah.
Now that video is obviously outdated nowadays, but it got over 250,000 views, and it was like, geez.
Yeah, you get like crazy amounts of views on your videos. Like, that's, I don't know. I'm trying to get on your level. So
well, you're climbing in subscribers fast though.
Yeah, that's just because I mean, I feel like you and I both post a lot though.
We do, and that's half the battle, posting consistently. It's kind of funny because like the 3 rules to gaining a lot of subs or getting a lot of traction is you post consistently, you post, and you kind of post topics that fall within your genre, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I encourage people not to do is not to beat a topic dead horse. Like, don't take a topic and I'm not talking like Uber. Like, say Uber cuts the rates. Don't make like video after video after video of Uber cutting the rates.
Well, that's me.
that will. I mean, that will.
I do that like I'll do that if it's like a strike or something. I'll make a few videos on it.
Yeah, the issue with that is that it does help with the views short time, but once that particular speaking point is done, then you lose a lot of viewers.
All right, let's move on to some more Uber and Lyft content for all the viewers.
Okay.
because we could talk about YouTube growth all day.
Right.
But okay, so I know you did go to the last LA strike, Uber strike before Uber's IPO, correct?
Correct.
You want to walk me through, because I didn't go to the strike at all. I'm up in the California Bay Area, but I think I had school or something that day, or I think I had a final like the next day or something. But how was your experience at the strike? And then like, what? Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe you can walk me through how that was.
Like how I came to be at the strike and all that.
Yeah, like why'd you go, and then what was like the whole experience of you being there, like interact. I know you interviewed a couple drivers, I think.
No, I interviewed like several drivers actually. Well, at first I wasn't going to go to the strikes because I've been to many strikes before and they don't normally have a good turnout. So I was like, well, I'm not wasting my time with that. And then there was one of the viewers wrote like I can't remember word for word what it was, but it was a very convincing argument on why I should go. So I said, yeah, I guess I can go. And, if it's nothing, then but it ended up being like quite a big turnout. So
Yeah.
the strikes are getting bigger, and now I'm talking to more people. It's kind of interesting going to those strikes because I'm kind of well known in that little community. So you get a bunch of people who are happy to see me, and then you have a bunch of people who are not happy to see me.
Oh, really? Like in person, people were like mad that you were there.
Oh, there was one person who like walked up and like said, "So you've got some egg on your face, aren't you?" And don't you? And it's like, I guess it's like, yeah, you're discouraging the strikes, and look at the great turnout. It's like I was always saying I'm open to being wrong.
Yeah, it's like I swear, people in the comment section, like when they really think about it, it's like we're just another person. It's not like we have doctoral degrees in Uber and Lyft driving and know like every single answer. Like at least for me, most of the time I'm just sharing my opinion. It's not like, I mean, yeah, I do my research and stuff, but it's not like I'm right. Like half the time I'm probably wrong, but I'm just sharing my opinion and trying to like start up the conversation. So,
Well, and the thing was, up until that point, I was right. Strikes had not worked. People did not show up to them, and so from what I had been seeing for over the last couple of years, that was true. Then it came to this one. It's like, oh, they showed up for this one, and look, the media is here. That's new. So it's like, yeah, things changed that day a little bit.
all right, Larry Robinson says, did you ever have anyone in your Uber who was involved with drugs?
I suspect I did because there was one time I picked someone up. I was visiting my parents in Sacramento and would usually do Uber at night because they go to bed early at like 8. So I'll do Uber for a couple hours. And I picked him up. He looked like a teenager. Had me go to a location. We drive up to the location. There's a couple cop cars in front of the location. And he's like, okay, never mind, dude. Just keep going, keep going.
What?
And nothing happened beyond that. But I kind of suspect that might have been a drug deal.
Dude, I've heard some people like who was it? Somebody said that they literally did a drug like a delivery. Like a guy like went to his bank or like a pickup or something. People are ruthless out there. The worst that I've had, I think, like a kid wanted me to buy him cigarettes. It wasn't a kid, he was like 19, but here in California it's 21 now.
Right.
By tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say kid. People might get the wrong idea, but yeah, it was like 8. He was like 19 or something, and he was mad that I told him no. He was like, "I'll tip you through the app. I'll pay through the app." And I was like, first of all, like I highly doubt you're gonna tip me. Secondly, like I have to pay taxes on those tips, and thirdly, like that's totally illegal. So,
right. Whenever they say they're going to tax you in the app, tip you in the app, it's usually like, no, you're not getting anything.
Dustin says, "I love you guys." Wow, Dustin, I didn't know we were on that level. But yeah, he says, thumbs up the stream, thumbs up the chat, guys. If you like these interviews with.
Me and Dustin are on that level. In fact, we usually talk on the phone after my live streams on Sundays. It's become a nice little Sunday ritual.
And you guys drop the L word too?
implied.
I'm just joking.
Strongly implied.
Yeah, Mary Jane, what's up? She says there's always going to be haters. That's true. Actually, I don't know who it was, but he said you're not doing something right unless you don't have haters. Do you know who said that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
However, I believe it because I remember the first time I saw a Apptrepreneur is a scammer and hypocrite video. I just took a picture of it, posted it on Instagram, and said, now that I have an official I'm a scammer video, I feel like I've made it.
Yeah, you look at all the famous YouTubers. That's how they get famous, is people make like videos about them.
Oh yeah, Steven Crowder's doing wonderful right now, despite the fact he doesn't make any money off his channel.
The Traveling Troubadour says, do y'all make money from ads on your channel? That's a nice question. Do you want to answer that? Or say no comment?
No, because officially with YouTube's policy, you're not supposed to discuss money on the channel or else you could be demonetized.
All right, no comment on that one. Let's see. Do you get a lot of those authorized riders, and is it possible to avoid them?
Wait, what was the question?
Drivers. I guess people who like, yeah, I don't really know what she means by that.
Well, there's no one authorized on this platform, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, and then with the strike, I wanted to see if there's anything else. Like, what was the general consensus? Because actually, this does come at an interesting time because of the whole Uber or the California employment bill that's kind of, you know, up in the air. Right. Was that? I know you went to the strike. I know you went to 2 strikes. One of them you were like featured on the Rideshare Guy's website.
Right, and he was on my video too.
Yeah, and then the most recent one, I saw you in his video, and then I know you like live streamed. But did you find that a lot of people at striking wanted to have those like employee rights, or like wanted to be an employee?
I would say, well, a lot of them said yes. So I have no reason to disagree with them. I do think it's a little bit more nuanced than that, though. I think what's really going on, I think they want to pressure Uber into going back to the way things used to be, paying a fair wage and letting them keep their independent contractor status. And Uber can do it if they want. They choose not to. However, I think a lot of them are at the point now where they kind of sense it's not going to happen. So if it's not going to happen, and since they see their freedoms as independent contractors being taken away one by one, they will definitely take the employee status if they get some of that money back. Because I drove for a long time, and I can tell you right now, you're not independent contractors. I know it's a touchy subject. I know a lot of people want to think they are, but I know how this sounds. You're fooling yourself. There's nothing you control about this app except getting on and off whenever you can, and California law already dictates you need a little bit more than that to be an IC.
Yeah, that's I mean, so what would you call drivers then? If not, like what word would you use rather than
employees?
What?
I would use the word employees.
Oh, so you think drivers are already employees?
They don't control the rates. They don't have negotiating power. They can be deactivated, aka fired, where an IC can't. And they have to, yeah, they're employees.
I mean, well, there's no benefits. Like, you don't get like typical employee benefits, though.
Well, no, that's because Uber's calling them independent contractors. But when you look at what they actually do with them,
yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying.
Here's one of the things that people keep overlooking is like when they say, I'm an independent contractor, I say, oh, so you know exactly where you're going before you accept the trip and how much it's going to pay you before you accept the trip? Because if you don't, that's not an independent contractor thing. That's an employment thing.
Yeah, that's a good argument. Let's see. Do you have any preference, Uber or Lyft? Do you have any preference on which one you prefer?
For the longest time, I used to say Lyft, but honestly, they're They're both pretty bad now. I don't really like what either of them is doing. My favorite gig economy app is Caviar, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I don't really know why do you say Caviar? I don't know too much about them.
Well, Caviar, I like them for two reasons. First of all, they do pay you well. And secondly, you are an independent contractor under them because not only can you do the log on and log off thing, but when you get a job, it tells you exactly how far you're going to be driving and exactly how much money you're going to make, including the tip.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that app, in
Pretty
my
cool.
opinion, is following independent contractors. You are an IC with them. The frustrating thing with them is this crazy company, they want to be profitable before they expand, so they're pretty much just in LA and maybe New York City.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll have to try them out.
Yeah, so I mean, I do them occasionally, but unfortunately, I have to kind of drive a little far to get there.
Oh, so you do work for Caviar?
I do.
Like, yeah. Okay. Is it okay? Let's see. Do you do a lot of deliveries, or are there not that many customers yet?
Oh no, you could stay pretty busy doing deliveries.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point where here's the thing that because some people tell me like, well, when the prices are low, I get more rides, and it's like, guys, 2 years ago, there was already enough people using this. Like, I couldn't get any more busy, no matter how cheap the rides were. I just could not accept any more than what I was already taking. So, it's you're going to be pretty busy on all these apps unless you're doing this at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Humby C says, "What's up with destination? Keep sending me opposite direction whenever I put destination filter. For example, south sends me up 10 miles north out of the way." I have never had that experience.
I've had that experience, and I think
10 miles is it shouldn't go more than 2 miles out of your direction.
well, you have to know how the algorithm works. I mean, the way that I believe this works is when you I mean, he says it's 10 miles out of the way, and it's like, but on the map, that 10 miles is showing in the general direction. So the way, but to the map, it's going in the general direction. And so, I mean, I know this is a bigger problem with Lyft than it is Uber. So under Lyft's mind, you are taking a ride on the way, even though you have to sometimes go in the opposite direction to pick them up. And then when you take them to the destination, it's over here, and it's definitely very, very broken. That's for certain. I don't recommend using destination filters if you have to be somewhere, which is funny because that's why they created the stupid thing.
Yeah, if you have to be somewhere at a certain time, just the best thing to do is just log off and go. Traveling Troubadour says he or she specifically drives at 3 a.m. because they get a crazy amount of airport rides.
Well, they might get that. I mean, when I was doing this full time, I got up at 4:30 for airport rides because yes, there were airport rides at like 3 a.m. However, if I waited till 4:35, it would be surging because a lot more people needed them at that point.
Well, you probably get airport rides because
I live between
nobody else online.
I live between two airports, so it was easy for me to get airport rides.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think I know what airports, but I won't reveal your location to the internet. Let's see. So you said your favorite gig app's Caviar, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about your favorite app in general? Since you're the Apptrepreneur, like on your phone, like what's your favorite app in general to use?
Pokemon Go is probably a bad answer because that's a game. Actually, my favorite app right now for productivity is Todoist because what I do is I create it's like a little task app where you can create projects and then you can put tasks in the projects. And what you do is when you finish a task, you click it off and it goes away, and you can kind of track progress on your project. So since I'm like writing 2 books and working on YouTube videos and all that stuff, I like check the things off as I finish them, and I find out how much work I've done that day and how much work certain projects still have to go towards.
Yeah. Yeah. That's helpful. Do you use any mileage tracking apps?
I
Like,
used Hurdler. Well,
okay.
I guess I still, but now because I don't do it as often, I just write it down on a piece of paper.
Yeah, yeah. Me too.
So,
I mean, those, yeah, honestly, like, I try to stick away from my phone as much as possible since I already use it so much.
mhm,
But I use my notes app like a lot um, for like my to-do lists and stuff. Let's
mhm.
see. Next time, jump on the freeway 3 to 5 miles from the freeway. Why doesn't Lyft have a credit card to cash out? I don't know.
They do have a credit card. They just announced it like a week or so ago.
Really?
Yeah, I believe they made a deal with MasterCard to make a credit card.
I have not heard about that.
I don't think you can cash out your earnings on it, ironically.
Well, there's an Uber debit card or something that you can cash out your earnings and they don't charge you.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's not what Lyft has. Lyft has like an actual credit card.
Yeah,
As
guys, I mean, you guys have your own opinion, but I don't recommend cashing out ever because unless you really, really have to, just wait until the weekly deposit so you don't get charged 50 cents. You don't want to pay 50 cents to some credit card company. They're already,
well, it's like what 350 a week. I don't know, something like that. But the bigger reason to not cash out every day, which I found out, is because you get dependent on cash every day, and then there's some days that I couldn't drive because I got sick or something, and it just encourages poor money management to be cashing
yeah,
out.
it's the same reason why you don't get a payday loan. Like, I mean, then you're
Right.
just you don't want to have to live day to day. If you can't, I mean, if I understand there are emergencies, but other than that, like save up and then just wait for the money to come. And then, it's more, like you said, it's more of a mindset kind of thing. Yeah. So have you ever gotten like a big tip driving? What's your biggest tip, Ben?
$300.
300?
Hmm.
You say it like it's like normal.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
not. After that, I got a couple $100 tips, but the $300 tip was extremely unique. And I tell the story, and people don't even believe me when I tell it to them. So I don't even know if it's worth sharing, but it was a $300 tip.
I mean, is it inappropriate?
No, no, no. It's because it involved a celebrity, and people like don't believe me when I said I drove the person. So
Well,
it's
who is it?
it was Will Ferrell.
No way. Well,
Yeah,
you are in, well, I don't want to, do people know where you live or no?
they know I'm in Southern California, so
Yeah, I mean, you're in that area. That's totally like possible.
right. So it was one of those. Yeah, someone called an Uber for him, and we talked all the way to his house. It was
Yeah,
quite a long on a high surge too, and
that's insane.
yeah, at the end he pulled out $300. He had so many $100 bills, like he pulled them off like they were ones and
Yeah.
handed them to me. And have a good day. And of course, the funny thing is, the most memorable thing about that trip, aside from driving him, was that afterwards, when I'm driving out, I kind of like waved to the security guard, and he just frowned at me. And it's like, I guess they're paid to keep an eye on people.
Oh yeah, he's probably there all night.
Right. So, but
Like, uh,
a lot of people don't believe me when I share that
so
story.
you
So,
drove Will Ferrell while you were driving Uber.
mhm.
That's insane.
Yeah,
What did
but
you did you ask him like about his movies and stuff?
we talked a little bit. He actually wanted to know what like my favorite of his movies was, and I said, my favorite's Stranger Than Fiction. And then he was like, "Oh, so what's your least favorite?" It's like, Talladega Nights.
What? You don't like that movie?
Oh.
Mountain Dew? I'm getting drunk off Mountain Dew.
I mean,
Shake and bake? No.
yeah, no. I like a lot of his other movies that are funny, but not that one.
What about the prayer, like at the dinner table? That's like the best scene.
Oh, that was funny, but a few funny scenes doesn't make a good movie. I mean, Eddie Murphy's a funny guy, but most of his comedies are like, I don't know, they're worse than Chinese water torture or something like that. They're just not funny.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Mary Jane says she has the Uber card. I don't really. Do you know much about the Uber card, Kevin?
Yeah, mine doesn't work anymore because I haven't used. But yeah, the Uber card is pretty much what it says. The money's on your card instead of cashing it out, and you could also use it to buy gas and save a little extra money on gas, unless they changed it in the last several months, which it's possible.
Yeah,
But that's how it worked for me when I was driving for them.
yeah. Kenneth says I picked up hip hop artists, VP of Xerox, and the CEO of Fair. Fair. I'm assuming Fair, the Uber car rental. Well, not Uber rental.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Um,
no, eventually, especially if you're in California, New York, even Florida and Seattle, Washington to a certain extent, you will pick up famous people at one point in time.
yeah, I mean, were you driving the luxury series or
Nope.
just normal? Yeah.
Nope, just a normal Nope, just a little Corolla, which I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like I kind of asked him why he didn't get the luxury vehicle, and he said that he didn't call it, and which is possible. I mean, with Hollywood, the way all these things work is that every expense is accounted for. So
Yeah.
it might have been a situation where some guy was told, go call Will Ferrell and Uber, and he looked at the prices and went with the cheaper option because because it was surging so high, and the luxury was probably a good $25 a mile, something like that. So he
Yeah.
probably went to the Uber X because it was like, well, it's cheaper and I don't want to get in trouble for doing this.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah, could be right. Because it was a pretty long trip, right?
Yeah, it was about an hour and a half.
That's a really long trip.
That is a really long trip. The conversation it kept going the whole
Was
night.
he
It was
in the front or the back?
he was in the back.
Yeah.
He 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 was in the back. I actually recognized him right away, and I said, "You look familiar." And then I said, "Were you the kid with the hearing aid on Barney?"
Was that?
And he must have thought that was funny because it was like a total icebreaker.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I was trying to keep it in a little.
That's insane. Yeah, I mean, I've met celebrities too, and it's like, I mean, I'm
Well,
not really too phased anymore by it, but
yeah, I've met enough celebrities, and in fact, my family's kind of friends with one, so it doesn't really affect me much anymore.
I mean, yeah, I honestly like try to avoid them because I know I'll like be really awkward. Um, let's see, Dylan, what would you do if your passenger had some kind of medical condition while driving? Oh,
Like what kind of medical condition? That's a very broad statement.
she's probably saying like, what if your passenger like started having a seizure while you're driving them?
Well, I'd ask if I need to pull over and call 911.
I would, yeah, at that point pull over if it's like really serious.
Right. And it depends on how responsive they are. I mean, they might be able to say, "Oh no, this is normal," or "No, I've got Parkinson's, so just keep going." But if they can't respond well, then I guess we're calling 911.
If somebody's freaking out, I'm pulling over. I'm not gonna risk that. People have their own opinions, but yeah, just be careful about that. Or yeah, or take them to the hospital. I guess I mean, I would probably call 911 and then see what they're.
Yeah. If the hospital is right there, you could probably just take them. But the danger of taking them to the hospital yourself and checking them in is that you could, in theory, be responsible for that person.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, if you're talking about like a medical condition, like they're handicapped or something, I mean, yeah, you like do what I mean, yeah, help. There is now in Uber like a handicapped mode that they have people who assist.
Yeah, Uber
Have
assist.
elevators in their cars and stuff to help
Mhm.
those kind of people. But I mean, if somebody, I mean, if they have a service animal, you have to accept them. You can't
Right.
deny somebody if they have a service animal, which is not an emotional support dog. An emotional support dog is
Right.
not a service animal.
Right.
um,
And the easiest way to figure out whether it's emotional support or whether it's service is you are allowed to ask this one question. You're allowed to ask, what has your animal been trained to do? And if they don't really have an answer for it, then it's not a service animal.
if
Because
they're
the more
if
you
they're
have
like,
to deal with
oh
animals,
well,
the
you
more
know,
time you
it
do that.
just helped me feel less lonely or something, then like you can deny them
Yeah.
because dogs make. I mean, and if it is if it is a service animal and they get like hair all over your seat or something, or your basically, actually, I did find this out that the emotion or service animals are trained to stay on the floor. They're not.
Right.
They won't be jumping around on the seats. So if they're jumping around on the seats, then you know it's not an actual service animal.
Right.
For the most part, I mean, dogs, might. I don't know.
And the emotional support animal thing is kind of a touchy subject for me because I know people who have service animals and who really need them. And I think people with emotional support animals ruin it for those who have an animal that does a specific task. And, personally, I even kind of wonder if it's a healthy thing to be dishing out emotional support animals to deal with emotions because it's like, well, look, I like my companions, but the animals aren't going to live very long. And what happens if they need that animal so much?
Well,
What happens if they
think
die?
I think the reason a lot of people have them is simply to have so their landlords or like their property managers let them have a dog because a lot of people are just saying like getting their dog classified as an emotional support dog so they can have them in their apartment.
It's possible because I don't
I
know.
actually know people who do that. They're not like they don't really need the dog. They just kind of like say that.
Well, if that's your experience, I don't know anyone who has an emotional support animal.
Yeah.
I would be concerned if anyone I know did that. But then I just get annoyed because you read stories like how someone took their emotional support pit bull on a plane, and then the pit bull like bit
Oh,
his face off or something, and it's like,
I
yeah,
heard about that.
mm-hmm.
Someone said if Dara K, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Karashahi,
What is it?
Karashahi.
If Karashahi had a medical emergency, would you take him to the hospital or call an ambulance?
Uh, I would call the ambulance because I would, and if he asks why, I tell him under Uber's policy, I'm responsible for you. And depending on his reaction, I might add or not add. And frankly, I don't want to be responsible for you.
Yeah, I mean, call 911 and then at that point, if 911 I really cannot imagine the operators saying take him to the hospital yourself unless I don't know for whatever reason, but
Now, it also, again, it depends because, like, if he had been shot, like, and time was of the essence and I knew where the hospital was, then yes, under that circumstance, even though he'd be bleeding in my car and that's a clear health hazard, it's like time is of the essence. You don't have time to debate.
yeah,
So call the hospital and tell them you're on the way so that
yeah.
they can meet you there. However, if it's just like he's got like a fever or something, no,
Yeah.
I'm calling an ambulance.
Yeah. Um, Someone said I had a guy who was stabbed in the leg one time.
Mm.
Okay. Would you give a ride first to a high or drunk person? I've given rides to both before. I mean, in California, marijuana is like very normalized, so it's not really like
Eh,
personally don't mind at all. I don't know about you.
I've given them the both. However, I would probably be more willing to take a drunk person than a high person, if only because I really don't want the drunk person driving. First of all, my family has had some bad experiences with drunk drivers, unfortunately. However, the marijuana thing is kind of a unique thing because I'm kind of sensitive to that. So it bothers me. It really does.
Yeah.
I hate the feeling. And at that point, I mean, there was one guy who came in and his stench was so strong, like immediately my eyes started watering, and I told him to get out because it was like I can't even focus
Yeah. No, I
the
know.
way it was. So he got out. It was probably too chill to argue, and he closed the door. I drove around the corner and turned off the app, and just like I remember just rubbing my eyes, and I was like,
Yeah.
and I was just thinking to myself, this is so awful. Why are we trying to legalize this?
Yeah. I actually, one time I was working at a store and somebody like hotboxed our like whole store. And I was like, I could totally feel it. And I was like, all right, I cannot like function doing my job right now. Yeah. I mean, some people like that's totally fine for them, but I really don't do it too often. So,
I think whether it's drunk or high, you should really do it at your own house.
oh, and another reason is that it could really smell up your car.
Right, and people are sensitive about how the cars smell. I remember the first time I realized that when some guy who had smoked a cigarette before he came in, and it wasn't a very strong cigarette smell, but he got out, and I guess it lingered. The next person got in, and she was like, "Do you smoke in here?" And I explained what happened, and she gave me 1 star anyway.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a little people. I mean, yeah, people are sensitive. I mean, you read that article about the car freshener, about Uber's the car fresheners.
Well, in fairness to some of the people, 30 car fresheners is a little excessive. You just need one at a time.
You didn't shout me out. She interviewed me like for that article.
I didn't get to your part.
Dude, that article was so long. It was like 15 pages.
Yeah, no. I got to one point and I said, okay, I think we got the point, so I'm going to stop there. And a lot of my viewers, as much as they love me, were probably collectively going like, "Oh, thank Christ."
Yeah. Well, did you get to Harry's line?
I got to Harry. I at least said, "Oh, look, Harry's interviewed for almost all these articles."
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What do you? Okay, this is kind of a touchy subject, but what do you think about? Like, I think it goes hand in hand with driving Uber and Lyft. Like, we're always on our phone. Some people even say like, well, whatever. What do you? I mean, I know that I'm addicted to my phone. What do you think about like phone addiction in general?
it needs to be taken very, very seriously because what America has, I think it's one of the worst addictions America has, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean,
And I know that's ironic coming from the Apptrepreneur because I obviously use my phone for work a lot. However, I kind of say that I must have it under control because there are times I can leave my phone in the car for a few hours.
Yeah.
Or I can go, and it does not bother me at all. But I look at like my brother and like if you want to get him upset, like take away his phone. You start ever so slightly moving the phone away from him, and you can see he starts to shake.
Yeah.
And it's really, really bad.
Oh, what's up, Pete? Paid to Drives in the chat.
Oh, Pete's here. Awesome.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, he's gonna pass 15,000 subscribers soon, I think.
Are you guys like similar size? Are you guys, or are you at 15 yet?
Almost. Me and him are kind of having a neck-to-neck
Oh, really?
battle on that. Of course, he got helped out a lot because he did that SpongeBob SquarePants video that blew up and got so many views. So, but yeah, no, he, at least from what little I've talked to him, he seems like a really nice guy.
No, he's great. I had him on the channel last week. Kind of did a little similar interview with him, except it was a lot shorter. Yeah, I think we're probably going to wrap this up pretty soon.
Okay. Well, it's your channel.
in the channel, on the channel once, like, I was gonna maybe like do this video dedicated to the California bill, but that's just like I'm already over that. Like maybe when that updates.
Well, you did 3 videos and a live stream with Dustin on that, and yeah, I'd probably be sick of it. This is why you don't burn out on one topic, by the way.
Well, now I'm moving on. um, all right. So what? Yeah, I think we. What about privacy, like apps and stuff, like tracking your location? Oh, okay. Actually, Uber used to track passenger location like 5 minutes after the ride ended. Um,
I believe they still do that. I mean, they might not. They might not say they do, but really, who's going to stop them? Data information is very valuable to all these companies. It's one of the main reasons that I think these tech companies need to be broken up. And a friend explained it to me so perfectly one time, because at first I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And he's like, well, think about it. You know, Google started out with a search engine, like the search engine, so they knew what you were searching for. But, well, that was only the search. What happens once you left the engine? Well, they made the Gmail so they could read your email. However, if you left the email, well, then they created the browser. And it's like, once he started piling on, it's like, okay, that's a little creepy.
yeah, they know everything.
Yeah, that's why I make it a point to my browser is Firefox, my email's Gmail. I use Bing as the search engine. I don't give any one company all of my attention.
I actually use Bing too. Do you do the rewards?
Yeah, I've gotten a couple Hulu gift cards out of the thing.
I cash out my I get Amazon gift cards.
No, no, no. I do not buy from Amazon.
Really, I buy so much from Amazon.
No. I refuse to give them my money.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you think? Okay. Do you think? Do you think? I guess. Well, I mean, we already know the answer, but do you think Google's listening to us right now?
Well, maybe not actively, but they're recording it and storing it.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't they? I mean, it's on Google Hangouts. You're on YouTube, which they own.
Yeah, we're using like Google so much right now. Well, yeah, they're definitely like obviously recording this, so
Right.
yeah, it is being stored. So,
Mhm.
but I'm talking about like when our phones are like just in our pocket, we're walking around day to day. Do you think that we're being listened to?
Well, if you have an Apple device, here's a little experiment you can try. Turn off the microphone in the settings and say, "Hey Siri," and see what happens.
Well, is that the microphone?
Yes.
Okay, let me try that right now. Turn off the microphone? How do you turn off the microphone?
You have to go to the settings.
Well, let's see if I can figure this out really quick, unless it takes too much time.
If it takes too much time, you can do it later. But a friend showed me like he said, "Hey Siri," and Siri asked what he wanted, and we didn't think much of it. And then he showed the settings, and he showed that the microphone was actually turned off. He said he never had the microphone on. The device is always listening, though.
Yeah, I mean, another one, you can put your phone up to your ear, and it has like you can hear the little crackly sound that like you would hear as if somebody was like on the other end of the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I can hear it right now. Everyone who's watching this, try that. I mean, are you live streaming on your phone or no?
I'm on my Surface.
Have you tried that before?
Mm.
Or another one is if you're like on the live video and then you like do it like, or no, what is it? If you do a live, if you know the live photo thing,
Yeah.
if you do do you have iPhone?
No, I have a Samsung.
Do they have live photo on there too or no?
I don't care enough. I use a phone pretty much for conversations and Movie Pass.
Okay. Well,
And
on iPhone, if you do live photo and then you do like take a photo, it records like before the whatever. Who cares?
Oh yes, I've seen that on Katie's phone.
Yeah,
I have done that. I have seen that. So
like you can say like 1, 2, 3, and then click the photo thing, and then once you go back and like hold the live photo, you'll hear yourself saying 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you hadn't clicked it yet. All right, let's wrap this whole thing up. We're kind of getting a little off topic. Do you have any tips for new Uber and Lyft drivers?
Well, frankly, my advice is to not get into it at all.
Don't.
However, if you're,
Rideshare Hub.
if you're going
Don't
to
drive Lyft.
if you insist on doing it, I know,
Yeah, that's your advice. I would like to hear your thoughts on this. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, if you do decide to get into it, first of all, make sure you sign up with a referral code. Anyone's, it doesn't matter whose, just get one.
Yes,
Well, I don't have mine up anymore, so yeah, go ahead. And it have highly recommended a hybrid or electric car. Don't be using a car that you're still paying off. Use a car that is already paid off. Have like pepper spray or something. Have a dash cam. Do not do this without a dash cam. And if you think a situation is getting unsafe, get out, even if it means leaving your car behind.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about like people who, I guess people who are driving already, like more experienced drivers?
Well, the more experienced drivers, they know what they're doing, and they know what works for them. There's nothing. They're experienced for a reason. There's nothing I can particularly tell them, and they probably wouldn't want to hear my opinion anyway, because I don't really drive that much, so I don't have much to offer them. They're out there figuring it out for themselves.
Yeah. Let's see. And then I guess with your whole YouTube channel and just like writing your books, working on all of your side projects, I know like you had like a popular website for a while. What's been your biggest motivation in life? Like for me, I always talk about like my why, like what's my why I'm doing all that I'm doing. Maybe you could share yours.
The why, because I like doing it.
Yeah, because you just like the process.
I like the process. And I really like turning my hobbies into jobs.
There you go. Yeah. Sweet. Simple answer.
Yep.
All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap this video up. If you guys want to subscribe to Kevin's channel, where he reports on Uber, Lyft news, other stuff. First link in the description, guys. Check out, subscribe to Kevin's channel. And maybe, who knows, maybe I'll even be on his channel one day. Hint, hint. Maybe not.
Well, we'll see. I've had people on my channel before. And
I don't even know. Have you done like collabs with other people on your channel?
Yes, in fact, most of the rideshare channels out there, not all, but most, have done collabs with me.
All right. Well, maybe I'll be on his channel I don't know. Anyways, go to subscribe to him and help him get to 15,000 subscribers. Let's do it. And if you go subscribe to him, comment on his video that the Rideshare Hub sent you. So that way, you know. Oh, Mary Jane, thanks for the super chat.
Yes, also CNY Rideshare Guy sent you one too.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the super chat, guys. Wow, Stephen Warner also sent like 45 emojis. So, yeah, Israel Izzy Zolis. Just run up the surge with other drivers. Uber and Lyft can't deactivate you. Both of you guys, thanks for this live chat. You're welcome. Does anyone know how either company is ever going to make a profit? Yeah, with their driverless cars, probably.
No, they're not.
No.
I know we don't have time to get into now, but no, that's not going to save the company.
I mean, that's what their plan is.
Yeah, well, MoviePass's plan was to sell the data to people, and that didn't work out. So
that's how
a lot of things.
Yeah, that's how Dollar Shave Club made their money, was by selling their data. And well, obviously they sold to, who was it? I don't know. They've sold for like $1.4 billion. Yeah. So you don't think driverless cars are going to come out?
I didn't say that. I said driverless cars will not save them.
Okay.
Although
What do you?
them not coming out for a good 15 to 20 years will probably contribute a lot to them not saving them.
Okay. Um,
I mean, for God's sakes, these things don't even. The average length these things go is 2 miles. Then they have to have intervention. They're not ready for prime time.
yeah, they're definitely not ready. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Nuclear seal, Tesla. Tesla's the future. Yeah, we'll see about that.
I hope Tesla survives, but they're not looking too good right now.
They're like one of the only car companies that have not gone bankrupt.
True.
Mary Jane says, update the merch, the fall merch. I want some sweatpants. I know, I've been trying to get sweatpants on the merch store. I was trying to get this on sweatpants that say Rideshare on the side, but I don't know. I can't figure that. The company that I use is not like, it's kind of hard to make sweatpants, but I will try. I'll get some more hoodies up there. I don't know. Do you have any final words, thoughts, Kevin? Any words of wisdom to all these venturing entrepreneurs out there?
I always encourage people to just try things. I mean, it's cliched, but you know, I didn't plan for the YouTube channel to be a success or anything. It just kind of happened. I just started making things. So whatever you want to do, give it a shot and just try, because the more you try, the more chances you'll have of succeeding.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And you know what I always say, guys? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Yeah. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Again, go ahead and subscribe to Kevin if you want to check out some more awesome content. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, the Rideshare Hub. Turn on post notifications so you never miss another video on our channel. Give this video a big thumbs up, please. I really ask you. That's all I ask you. I'm not asking you to buy anything. Just give the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Nuclear Seal, thanks for that super chat, man. You guys are awesome. This has been another episode of the Rideshare Hub. Kevin, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me. I guess I can finish my book now. So, see you later.
All right, guys, we will talk to you all soon. Have an amazing day. Get out there, make some money, stay safe. All right, bye, guys.